Welcome to DMZ Live, Harvey Levy here. So the prosecution in the Diddy case, they are winding up now, closing arguments tomorrow and Friday. The jury gets the case probably Monday. So the prosecution just filed paperwork today, actually in the form of a letter to the judge saying that they wanted to simplify the jury instructions per the judge's instructions. And what they are doing is they are streamlining things. That there are charges alleging kidnapping, arson, that's the Kid Cudi case, they are alleging aiding and abetting in sex trafficking. They are slimming that all down so that they are not gonna kind of overburden and overwhelm the jury with instructions, right? They are saying that to the judge that when you give the jury their instructions, just leave out the attempted kidnapping, leave out attempted arson. But they are saying there's no actual kidnapping. Yes, actual arson. And those things, the counts, the charges still remain. They are just saying there's no reason in the jury instructions to tell them about the attempted kidnapping. And Charles, I'll tell you why. Because the actual, attempted, means you failed or didn't go through with it. They are alleging it was gone through with, so why bother calling it an attempt as well? Right? And they are just trying to, because the jury is gonna have, there are so many, because there are 4 counts, and because one of them is a RICO count that has so many underlying alleged crimes, they just want to simplify this so that the jury, when they get their instructions, know what to do. So legal Smeagol, let's talk about what really matters right now. Hold on. I want to say that I know what you want to get to, and we should, but this also plays into that because this is going to be a very complicated thing for the jury to look at, and they are potentially going to be under a bit of a time crunch. So, it looks like each side is going to take a day. So tomorrow, Thursday, there will be a prosecution's closing argument. Friday, the defense's closing argument. And then the judge is going to give instructions to the jury, which may take a couple hours, because of what we just talked about. So realistically, the jury's going to start deliberating on Monday, right? They might have an hour or so off, late on Friday. Or they may do it, we don't know, they may do it on Friday, depending, they may do it, but the jury's probably going to start deliberating in earnest on Monday. The reality here, folks, is that if you've talked to your friends, you know, some people say, oh, he's guilty on everything, he's guilty on nothing. I don't see the RICO charge, but I do see the Mann Act charge. So my gut tells me, and I don't try to guess juries, but they are not going to all agree right out of the gate. So there's going to be debate and argument, you know, going over evidence and talking. So Monday goes in. There are 28 days of testimony, and they are going to go over a lot of. Now, remember, in O.J. Simpson, there was 9 months, but they came in 2 hours. Yeah, so it really just depends. But I think Monday is going to bleed into Tuesday. And then, if you get into Wednesday, there's an issue. Now things start tightening up. Yeah, they are really up against the clock because Friday is the 4th of July, Thursday is the 3rd of July. Do they want to come in on Thursday? Well, Thursday the courts are closed. Or do they want to get it done on Wednesday? Not only that, there's a court holiday. So court is closed on the 3rd of July and 4th. That is Thursday and Friday. So what's the best way to get to consensus on Wednesday? The looming idea that you will be dragged into court through a skeletal staff that Judge Subramanian can say, I'm going to open up just the jury room. I'm going to have a skeletal staff come in on a holiday and you guys are going to continue deliberating. That's going to drive consensus in that jury room to say, hey, I got plans. I want to see some fireworks. You better all get on board. You can listen to Derek and based on his record say, look, he's a doofus. But in this case, he's acting. Wow. I mean, it's true, but we don't say it out loud like that. In this case, he is actually right that experimentally that when you have these 4-day holidays, it's shocking how many juries suddenly reach a consensus right before. Suddenly I have clarity. You know what? All the 28 days of testimony, I've been seeing it crystal clear. Well, not just that. But you may have an 11-to-1 split or a 10-to-2 split on one of the counts. And those two, and the pressure on those two, they may have family picnics, they may have family parties, whatever. At a point, I know that sounds trivial and crazy, but there is that kind of inner pressure. It's in the back of their head. Yes, definitely going to be, not even in the back of their head, maybe, you know, toward the front of their head. They don't want to have it linger over the holiday.